Okay, good morning, everybody. This is our Thursday morning chat. And on Thursday mornings, we actually talk about business. We share business stories, we ask business questions, we share wonderful ideas. And I think many of you saw on our director's call yesterday, Kai brought up the idea of, carrying your business with you at all times, and all you need is your phone and your patches. And he got kind of inspired when he saw the little credit card case that I think is great because it's really little. And between that and the phone, you got a business on the go no matter what. So today we thought about talking, and I'll open it up for questions and other things, but setting the tone so you can be thinking about this as the world is opening up and people are out and about and being together again in lots of places, and summer is here. We wanted to kind of open up the conversation of taking advantage of being together again and some ideas. But before we jump into that, I just planted the seed so you can be thinking about it. Um, and I want to see if there's anyone who has stories or questions before we jump into our topic. The lines are open and it's nice and quiet, so we don't need to do a global mute yet.
Go ahead, Darlene. I saw you raise your hand.
Oh, Darlene, great.
Have y'all picked a date for coming to the Denver area yet?
We're going to have a meeting. We haven't figured that out yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Helen's going to help us and Tim are going to help us organize a Denver team Zoom to discuss
live
or call, but might as well do a Zoom just to talk about dates and locations.
Okay.
So let's try and do that. Are Helen and Tim on? I didn't see them.
We're here.
Okay, that's our plan. Oh yeah, they're there. Okay. Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
All right. So we'll let you know.
Sometime real soon to do that within the next few days.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks
Okay.
like Kay has her hand up.
We have a lot of background noise. I think you might need to mute everybody.
I think you're right. So when you come on and you want to share, you want to unmute your line.
But I did have a question. I ran into something that I didn't know how to handle this week.
Oh my.
I prospect, yeah.
I can't.
I've been in the industry 41 years and I'm stuck. So I want your opinions. So I prospected a gal in my water aerobics class. She was extremely excited. She has a lot of medical people in her family. I sent her the videos, which she watched immediately. And her response was, I have to run this by my doctor because I don't do anything she doesn't recommend. She doesn't know enough to run anything by her doctor. And yet I kind of felt like that was a polite way of saying, leave me alone. So I want people's opinion on that, please.
Okay, and that does come up. So who wants to respond to that? You know I'll always jump in, but I like to open it up first. Anyone? Okay, so that's a very common thing, Kay, for a lot of people. So we always want to, value, where they're coming from, and let them know that they can ask their doctor and let their doctor know that it is a non-transdermal patch. There's nothing going in the body. And so there's no contraindications, but you might get a doctor on board and say that this patch, if we're talking X39, activates a copper peptide, and ask the doctor to research GHK-Cu, which they might become interested. So, but there's nothing going in the body.
But what would you recommend? I think if you've got a brand new person, you articulated that very nicely. You could see a new person kind of struggling with the words with their doctor because people are intimidated. Some are intimidated by doctors. Seems to be there needs to be a document. What would you recommend, Robin, as far as documentation that she might take and give to her doctor?
Okay. The stem cell article, activating your stem cells, might be a really good one to give to the doctor. And then also writing on there, asking them to research the copper peptide. What else would you recommend, Gregory?
There's a product data sheet in the resource section just for X39. And I think that looks very official because it is, comes from the company. It's two-sided and gives a lot of information. It's not necessarily a marketing piece, so to say. And I think that's good for a doctor because they're used to seeing clinical, style documentation. If you really want to
Gregory?
hit it on the head, the 55 page, white paper, but that's a lot of printing.
So when
Well,
you
Gregory,
say,
I've got a suggestion, Kay, also that I've used is the one that there's a summary in the published study section that Dr. Melinda Connor did on the summary of the studies. So it's very brief.
Ooh, nice.
That's a great one, Connie.
Great
Thank you.
suggestion.
I
of
always
a
forget about
particular
that.
study are you talking about, Connie?
It's the one on X39,
All
the
right.
original studies on X39. And it just says, I believe it says something like X39 summary with Dr. Melinda O'Connor.
Okay, thank you. And then I have one other thing that I've run into, and that is I'm doing enough prospecting that I'm getting lost on who I've given what. Has anybody developed any kind of a chart or Excel spreadsheet or anything to know who you've given what and where you are in the process with prospecting? I'd like to discuss that if appropriate.
Okay.
Absolutely appropriate. So does anyone have a good system?
Well, I'll jump in. I created a Google Doc. It's just a simple spreadsheet, and I have the columns, just some columns I know when I sent them the videos through the app, and if I sent them other videos, what videos I sent them, and just notes about why I think it's a good fit, so I don't forget why I initially thought to speak with them. But just a simple Google Doc. It's free, and yeah, and I also set some of my people up with them also so that I can look at their prospect list and we can go over it on the phone together. So
Great.
Now,
I'd like
Kate,
to jump
are
in
you-
with for the
Mhm.
app. The app is incredible for that. Even if it's not something you sent from the app, you can talk in, well, today I sent XYZ and,
We can hear you. Yeah.
yeah,
Very
good. So I don't know, the app takes care of that for me because that's definitely a problem.
You're muted, Kay.
What part of the app are you talking about, Tim?
Well, anything you send from the app, the app automatically makes a note of it.
Well, yeah, of the videos, but I'm talking about articles, the stem cell article, things like that. And even when I'm doing follow-up calls.
Actually,
Where I
can
am
take
in the
notes.
process, in other words.
Note section where
Yeah.
you can put notes. And
Note
the
section.
combination of those two is really good because, you have to scroll through all your people on the app. So having that sheet, Doug, and would you be willing to share that in our Facebook group? Doug?
It might be hard to do that.
It might be hard.
I
to
was
do
gonna say,
that.
I'm not exactly sure how to do it, but I will think about how
Or
I
you know
could
what? Why don't you,
Even a screenshot, Doug,
screenshot it. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
could screenshot it.
because then people could set up their own Google Doc or they could set up an Excel spreadsheet.
Yes.
Robin, didn't you have an Excel spreadsheet that you set up?
I actually, when I started, I did a spreadsheet and I put people's, just like you're talking about, Doug, I put their name, I put the date, their name, what I sent to I had columns with different videos and then I had a notes section.
Mhm.
So I did the same thing. And in the early days, I kept going to Gregory because every time someone would join, I would highlight it. And I said, I've never seen conversions like this before. So it was all in one sheet and it was amazing to me. So I
The
don't
one
know.
advantage to Google Docs over Excel is that you can access it from your computer, iPhone or iPad.
Yeah, and you
Right.
can share it easily.
And you can also share it. And I just, yeah. And I just delete all of my people and I just send a blank to somebody. But I'll figure out a way to share it on the Live Younger.
Well, and if you can't, you can email it to Kay.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Kay,
Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
Happy to do
do you use Google Docs?
I didn't know about Google Docs.
Do you ever used Excel?
Oh, lots of times. Yeah, I use that every
Do it in
day.
Excel. You don't need to go through the Google Doc learning curve. Trust me.
Okay.
But so I think in that case, Doug, you might be able to export it as an Excel spreadsheet.
Yes.
That'd be awesome if you wouldn't mind sharing that. And you can just pull up a blank one without any names.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
Okay, I'll ask you guys where the best place is to put that. So,
Okay.
Well, that might be a great tool to put in our tool chest. So
Yes.
getting gritty.
I've got two computers here. Hold on.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping you'd say, oh, it's on page such and such and nitty gritty, but.
Not yet, but it could be.
It will
Right.
be.
You're seeing double of me. Let's see. Okay. So Gregory had to take a call. So here I am. But I think that's a wonder. Thank you, Doug. And thank you, Kay, for bringing that up because it's really powerful and having, I like having a single sheet that I can look at and go, oh, I need to follow up with so-and-so. And, it's all on one page. And, the app is amazing because you can write notes. And a lot of people don't know that. There is a place when you go into the contact details where you can actually put notes. So I recommend everyone play around with that until you find it. It's really, I can probably, it's really simple actually. And it's very helpful because I can't possibly remember all these things. A lot of details, but writing it down is good and having a one page that you can just get an overview is wonderful.
Maybe somebody could teach that next week on this call using the app for that.
Well, there you go. God, you have so many good ideas, Kay.
Thank you.
What a team we got. We're all learning from each other, Yeah. Okay. So let's see, Doug, you have your hand up. So you're on. Unmute, please, so we can hear you.
Okay, great. Thanks. Yeah. So I have a couple quick questions. So I met with somebody in real life yesterday.
Real life. Oh my gosh.
It was great. We met and I was able to hand him patches and talk about them. And it was almost felt like normal, but we've been talking for quite a while. Anyway, he's got family in Ethiopia. And I was just wondering, I had heard somewhere that Lifeway was closing down Africa.
Okay. So they're not closing down Africa, but they're making some changes there. And they have some really good plans. It's going to take a little bit. They're moving through the complete process for South Africa, and then that may be a hub to send to other countries. So stay tuned on Africa. There's some, we were on a call with Ryan yesterday and got some updates, but there will be, keep following the updates and keep asking because we'll be giving you more information as we get it.
Okay.
So in the next few weeks, I think we'll have some good things to share. Yeah.
Okay. So it's imminent. So, but it's on right now. We can't sign people up there. And
Ethiopia, is it on the enrolls?
I'd have to, I can't remember. I thought that it was, but then I just heard this. So
Africa, yeah, they're going through some major changes as a company about Africa. So let's have a personal conversation and I'll see if I can get some more information for you.
Okay, that would be great.
Okay.
I want to get him settled first. He's here in LA, so I want to get him settled first. So
Right.
But I just wanted to be, accurate because I did mention it and then I went, oh no. Yeah, anyway. Okay, so then my other question.
We're working on it because we do have a lot of things going on in Africa already. And there's been some interesting conversations in corporate about Africa. So
Sure.
we've been fighting hard the last few weeks in a big way to keep a lot of Africa open, and they have to kind of readjust how they're doing it, but it's in process. So
Okay.
let's stay connected and I'll keep you posted. Okay.
Awesome. That would be great. It's a big place.
The continent is very big and there's a lot of countries.
There are a lot of countries. And
Yeah.
yes. Okay, then the other question is, if and maybe there's a better place I can go get this, but if you could explain how the commission caps when our pay is reduced, how that is figured and if that's ever going to go away.
Well, the pay cap situation is being adjusted and they made some changes in the comp plan. And that has affected the pay cap, and it's going to get better and better and better, which means the pay cap adjustment is going to go lower and lower. And for those of you that don't know what the pay cap is, it's in your commissions. It calls pay cap bonus, and you won't see anything in the current week. It's 10 days out. And in a binary pays to infinity, and the company pays out 60%. Well, if the commissions are over 60%, they have to claw back, otherwise we'd go out of business. You know, we can't pay everything out. So they're making some tweaks, and they're in process of making some more, and it should get better and better, and that pay cap deduction should lower and lower. That's the plan.
Okay. Because when you're actually doing it as a business and counting on that income, it's hard to have unpredictable swings.
I understand. Oh boy, do I understand.
Yeah.
So that's why it has been a major focus for the company for a long time. And now that Ryan's there, we had an interesting conversation as they've been really doing an overall assessment on commissions, that I think they found some other places where it can affect the cap. So some good stuff is going on, and it is getting better and better.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. That answers
Yep.
my question.
And
Thanks.
it's only from the binary that the cap is affected.
Right.
It's not from the rest of your income.
Good
So
point. So
you
matching
have
bonuses.
Yeah, you have control of your income on your PIBs and your customers and your matching, but that your personal binary is the part that gets affected by that. Only that one thing.
That's a good point. I just thought I hadn't gotten to that other point yet. It's good to know it's not coming. All right.
Okay, good. All right, who's next? Anyone?
Robin,
Yes, Anne Marie.
I just was thinking of Kay's first question about what to provide for the medical doctor. And what about a copy of the patent, the recent patent on X39? I've sent that out a lot.
You know, that's it. You know, what I like to do, and I think it's always a good idea, is to find out how much information, it's like that you can, have her all prepared with several things and then ask the doctor how much they would like. So that would be a good thing to add. So thank you, Anne Marie.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the important thing from a doctor's perspective, I mean, typically they won't know a thing about what we have, right? And typically they'll say, if they don't know what it is, they'll say no. That's kind of their MO. And I think enough of us have had that experience. But I like to invite them to check it out, and you might want to have her ask her doctor saying, I've come across this, historic breakthrough that activates your own stem cells using light and nothing goes in the body. Would you be willing to research the copper peptide? Would you like some information so you can see what this is? And I have a lot, but how much would you like? And it depends on the openness of the doctor, really. And what we're looking for, and as we know, we have a lot of doctors that are very open, but there's a lot that, may not be.
Yep. Yep. I think the patent is good credibility, U.S. patent. But after, like you said, they can only take so much information.
Right. So that's why I like to, when I'm working with a practitioner, like when I had my knee replacement, and when Gregory was going through his, cancer seminar, every time we got on a Zoom with his oncologist, I said, did you do your homework? And, and I said, pick up your pen and write down GHK-CU. We had this ongoing thing. So he was very open, and they're intrigued, but they're open and not, some are, it's like anybody. Some people are open and some aren't,
Yep.
And that's a good question, a Phil Jones question. Are you open to hearing about a breakthrough, a historic breakthrough that activates stem cells, your own stem cells,
That's right.
And Phil Jones, if you guys came on board after the Phil Jones series, Helen reminded us that it's still available on empowerlifewave.com, and the password is small x39. That series that he did was amazing, amazing. The company really invested in all of us by hiring Phil Jones and created this, I think it was 6 or 8 weeks of fabulous information. And he talks about the magic words that work, how to influence people. And he gives you the words. He's got several books, but his books are really little and powerful, life-changing. So his name is Phil Jones. It's really creating curiosity and influencing people. And one of the things he says is, are you open? Do you consider yourself open? Yeah. Okay.
That brings up another question that I just realized I had, and are they ending the Connect series? I kind of got that feeling from an email, but I wasn't sure.
Oh, no. They're not ending the Connect series. They're ending the leadership portion. They did a period of just leadership focus for the business. And every other week it's business and product. Yesterday, Renata did a fabulous program, and did anyone see it?
Yeah.
Great. Apparently oops, Gregory got that. Okay, good. Yeah. So it's just they're doing it in segments. So the first business segment was about leadership, and I'm not sure what the next one's going to be about.
So it's still every other Wednesday night then?
During the day and at night. There's 2.
Right, every other Wednesday though.
Correct.
Okay, just wanted it on my calendar, so thank you.
That's good. And they do, when they send the reminders, they have the whole list of dates on there, so you can put them in your calendar. Yeah. Okay, great. Well, does anyone want to comment? I haven't gotten to what I wanted to talk about, but this is all about what everybody else wants. So does anyone want to share any comments of insights or things that you heard from Renata yesterday?
Oh, I'll share something about
Yes,
that.
Doug.
So I think one of the things, and I have to watch it again. Sometimes the first time through, I miss some things, but she talked a lot about her team and how they put on a skit together and raised money for a local charity. They had, I forget if it was softball they were playing or soccer or something. So just some, a little bit out of the box about what it means to have your team really become a team. So I thought that was really valuable.
That's beautiful. The team that plays together stays together,
Yep.
That's what happened in Mexico. We were working the whole time. We took one day off, but we had a great time and it bonded us. And not everyone has the opportunity because their teams aren't local. So there's ways to do things at a distance and, finding ways to keep people connected, and they do those Zoom calls. I was actually thinking and wondering what you guys think of this, of having like a once a week open Q&A for anyone who wants to show up.
I think that would be really valuable. I think that, some kind of we sort of do that here a little bit.
Well, that's what this is about, but this is only like 20 minutes. We're a little bit over, but something longer. And what she talked about yesterday was, having an open session where people can bring guests, and get to meet the community, because what happened in Mexico is what happens in this business. When people come to an event and they get the quality of the people that are there, they want to be part of it,
Yes.
And people in Mexico, they'd come to one meeting and they loved it so much because the people were so amazing. They came back and brought friends. And that's how things organically grow beautifully. Yeah.
So as busy as you and Gregory are, Robin, is there a day or time that would work? Do you want to talk about that now, or should we do a survey? Or how do we want to?
Let me talk to Gregory first.
Yeah, exactly. Don't volunteer him yet.
Yeah. And we don't have to be the ones that host it all the time either. We have plenty of people here that are capable of hosting that and answering questions and being available. So we love it when other people step up too. And so we can talk about that on. Oh, okay. That was interesting. Yeah, but that's an idea, one more thing to do, but it's, now that we're getting together more, it's so nice. I mean, we went to a farmer's market yesterday. It was the opening of farmer's market and there was hundreds of people there and there was live music and it's along the Yellowstone River with the mountains. It was a perfect day. Everybody was so happy. It's just, so wonderful to connect again and see people in person. Yeah, lots of new babies, by the way. Lockdown babies, I think. Instead of baby boomer babies, we have lockdown babies. Okay, any other, we'll talk about summer another time because we're at the end of our time, but anyone else have any comments or questions about anything? Everyone's quiet. In the chat section, let's see. Ethiopia is currently not one of the countries shown. Ravel, you are awesome. She just knows where to find the information right away, which is so great. Renata said, I love that she said most people don't want another boss, but a mentor is appreciated. That's great. And as a newbie from Mike, I would love an open Q&A. Diane says, I learn more from these meetings than any other way. As a new person, this is valuable. Thank you, Diane. Elizabeth, yes, please, especially the part about inviting people. Yeah, well, this Saturday, on Saturday, the topic is sharing. So for those of you that want to, tap into our Saturday morning skills trainings, this one is about sharing. And that's about inviting people. Yeah. Any other final comments from anyone? Okay. Well, I hope things are opening up where you live and it's so wonderful to see people again, like Doug said, in person. Yeah, and Kay is back at her water aerobics class, doing the things you love to do. You're going to be around the people that you want to be around and develop the relationship first before opening up the opportunity to share what you have. Connect first. I used to
Robin?
give people homework to not even they'd have to meet 10 new people in the week and you couldn't talk about the product or the business to anyone. Just connect first. Try that. It's a muscle, but it works. Yes, Michelle.
Kathy asked in the chat to repeat the Phil Jones Empower Series information, please.
Yes.
Phil
So
Jones.
it's empowerlifewave.com. And then it asks for a password. And the password is X39 with a lowercase x. It is case sensitive. And Michelle was a huge fan of that series, weren't you?
Loved it. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go through it again. It was awesome.
It was life-changing. He gave all these ideas on what to say and how to expand your market and overcome objections. And there were several guest speakers that were really fabulous. Yeah. And it's free. The company paid for it. Yeah. So thank you everyone for being together.
Thank you, Robin.
Beautiful Thursday morning. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We will, let's see, tomorrow there's no 30 minutes of wisdom. Wasn't Jeannie fabulous?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I have the slides. I have to get them to you. So I have the slides of all her notes. And a lot of people ask for that. I have to figure out how to post them. So I got to remember to do that. Well, thank you, everybody. Saturday morning training. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
bye-bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Everybody.
Thank you